was thinking that you and I could take a trip to the bookstore. This one looks lovely. This is my section. I need a steaming cup of tea, and this is totally gonna be one of those cheesy, heartwarming romance that I love. Hello friends, and happy summer! Sunshine is upon us, and starry nights, and time outside, and popsicles, and swims, and walks in the park, and flowers, and perhaps most exciting of all, if you're a book enthusiast or a bibliophile like myself, is summer reading. Because let's face it, on those days where it's just the heat is sweltering and it's hard to even move, there's nothing better than cozying up in the shade of a tree or in a hammock with a soft breeze blowing over you and your favorite book. Throw in a popsicle, maybe some takeout pizza, perhaps a little nap, and you have my dream summer day. Maybe it stems from childhood when we had those lists, those summer reading lists that we had to complete for school. Reading and summer just go hand in hand for me. I mean, I guess reading and every season go hand in hand for me, but it's my second most favorite reading season, second to autumn. It's also the season in which I feel the most alive and just like in love with my life. Life feels more like a romantic comedy during the summer months. Perhaps it's being able to wear dresses, or those late night sunsets, or getting to eat outside underneath twinkly lights. I don't know, but there is so much to look forward to this summer season, and I plan on making the most of time spent reading. It's still my goal this year to be the girl who replaces her phone with her book, the girl that always carries a book with her everywhere she goes, sneaking in a chapter or a page whenever she can. That's who I want to be, and I did so well at the beginning of the year, and then it's kind of just fizzled out a little bit right now. I've been in a reading rut that I can't seem to get out of. So I was thinking that you and I could take a trip to the bookstore. Clearly, I'm excited about summer, and I want to be excited about books to read this summer. So I thought that I could pick up a few books. So if this sounds good to you, go ahead and make yourselves a heartwarming cup of tea, grab your coziest of comfy blankets or your favorite summer dress, and let's go to Powell's. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is my section. I have read so many of these books and I love them. Okay, Tom Lake by Ann Patchett, love. The Night Circus, love. Howl's Moving Castle, love. Bookshops and Bone Dust, so cozy. One of my all-time faves, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Before the Coffee Gets Cold, great. Read The Bear and the Nightingale, not my favorite, but still good. The House in the Cerulean Sea, one of my all-time favorites. Bookshop on the Corner, that's a great cozy bookish read. How Do You Live? Wonderful. Kind of brutal, but wonderful. The House in the Cerulean Sea, oh, I guess they're both right there. Ooh, Storified Life of A.J. Fikry. I really liked that one. I feel like it's not gotten enough rep, for lack of a better word. It's super good. Remarkably Bright Creatures, Shady Hollow. I have the comfort book. I haven't read it yet. Still Life by Louise Penny. That's a fun murder mystery. And of course, Little Women. Wow, what a selection. I'm in the Rose Room, which is young adult and children's and middle grade books, but one of my favorite summer genres is young adult fantasy. Okay, this is a super fun book display. Read your sign, and it's organized books by sign. So for example, here's The Bear and the Nightingale, and it's Sagittarius. Most ardently is Taurus. Starless Sea is Scorpio, and I'm Scorpio, and I loved that book. Are there any other Scorpios? Ooh, Powerless. I've seen this a lot on the social medias, and it's a Scorpio read, so maybe I should give this one a go. You guys, I'm doing it. I'm gonna start the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I just loved A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I haven't read anything that compares, and I just want more. So I'm gonna start with Throne of Glass. I know there's some discrepancy about which book to start with, but I'm gonna start with that one. Something I want to do more of this summer is playing games, specifically board games, and Powell's has such a good selection of games. I want to have like a monthly game night or a weekly game night at my house. I think that would be so fun. I'm looking for the game Wingspan. I've heard it's really good. Wonder Book. That looks like fun. Wow, look at that tree. That's beautiful. I spy a cat in an armchair. Cute. So curious. I love a good middle grade read, and I'm super curious about The Wishkeeper's Apprentice. That looks magical. Kind of Studio Ghibli-esque, this creature. What a fun back cover. This one also looks really good if you're judging a book by its cover. Tide Magic, The Many Faces of Easta Flit by Claire Harlow. Wow, wow, wow. When the magic sparks upon your skin and the mist is high and the night creeps in, stay inside, lock the door, or you'll be lost forevermore. Oh, I love that. This one looks lovely. A Boy, a Typewriter, and the Stories They Hold. Olivetti. It's quite possible you've never spoken to a typewriter before. This is not your fault. Humans tend to think we can't understand them, but when you sit still for long enough, there's much you can learn. I'm very intrigued. Okay, I'm in the blue room in the romance section, and something about summer just screams romance. If a season were a genre, I think summer would be romance. Look at this beautiful edition of The Hobbit. My friend recommended me this book, the summer book by Tove Johnson. She's the one who did The Movements, and I think I might get it because it sounds really, really good. I'm back from Powell's, but before I show you what I got, first things first, I need a steaming cup of tea, and since it's the start of summer, I need to get my summer mugs out. Summer. Ooh, still a little hot. It is finally time to talk about books. And you guys, I got myself a cheeky little book haul. I haven't done a book haul in nearly 2 years, actually. In 2023, I set myself a book buying ban where I wasn't supposed to buy any new books for the entire year of 2023, and I didn't quite make it to the end, but it did significantly lessen my desire to buy books. And so I've not done a book haul for a very long time, and I like it that way. But I am very excited for the books that I picked up, and it has me really, really excited about summer and reading. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first book I picked up was The Summer Book by Tove Jansson. And as I said before, she wrote The Moomins, and this book is only about 150 pages, and it takes place over the course of summer and bounces between a little girl who's just lost her mother and an old lady who's living perhaps the last moments of her life, and they spend the summer together on an island. My heart just wants to read this book, and my friend recommended it to me, so I went ahead and picked it up, and I think it'll be a quick read and one that I bring with me somewhere, perhaps on a day trip to the coast. Okay, you guys, when I think of summer, I think romance, I think rom-com, I think Meg Ryan vibes, and I couldn't help myself. This was right on the table when I walked into the bookstore, and I passed it the first go around, but before leaving I went back for it, and it is Love at First Book by Jen McKinley. And I mean, just look at the cover. This is totally gonna be one of those cheesy, heartwarming romance that I love, and it's centered around books. So specifically, when a librarian moves to a quaint Irish village where her favorite novelist lives, the last thing she expects is to fall for the author's prickly son until their story becomes one for the books. It's totally gonna be one of those reads, one of those Hallmark reads, but who doesn't love a book centered around books, centered around a librarian who falls in love? Like, it's the best, and it makes my bibliophile heart so happy. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Following the bookish theme, I also picked up Welcome to the please excuse my pronunciation, Hyeonam Dong Bookshop by Hwang Bo Ryeom, and this is actually my book club pick on my Patreon for the months of May and June. So this is a heartwarming Korean smash hit, and it's about a bookstore, specifically the employees and the customers that interact within this bookstore. We get little windows into their lives, and it takes place in Seoul, South Korea, and centers around Yeonju, who did everything she was supposed to do, go to school, marry a decent man, get a respectable job. Then it all fell apart. In a leap of faith, Yeonju abandons her old life, quits her high-flying career, and follows her dream. She opens a bookshop. Yes, we love a quarter life or midlife crisis and the pursuit of one's authentic dreams. As I said at Powell's, I'm doing it. I bought Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I loved A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I miss those characters, and I've heard such good things about this series. In fact, people tend to like this one better than A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm really looking forward to escaping into a fantasy world. Lastly, I have One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, who my friend Chloe actually gave me. And Taylor Jenkins Reid also wrote Daisy Jones and the Sixes, and I really enjoyed that book. And I didn't expect to, but I really enjoyed it. She also wrote The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I've not yet read, but I've seen everywhere, and I can picture the cover actually. So Chloe loved this book. It made her cry, it made her feel all of the feelings, and she highly recommended it to the point where she actually gave it to me. And there's a bunch of pages dog-eared. I love reading a book that friends have read. When you can tell someone else has read and enjoyed that book, especially if they've underlined their favorite lines, it feels like reading a book with a friend. So I will definitely be reading this summer. I will definitely keep you updated as I read. I'm sure that I will get through these before the end of summer and have more to read, but I'd say I'm off to a good start with this pick. Let me know what you guys are reading this summer. I am always looking for book recommendations, and it's also fun to get to know you guys through your taste in books. It's like the unspoken part of the comments section that I really enjoy. I love getting glimpses of your personality through your book recommendations, so let me know. And before signing off, I wanted to show you guys my postcard illustration and sticker for the month of May on my Patreon. Here it is. I haven't named it yet, but as I was saying before, I just feel like life is like a romantic comedy during the summer months, and this was very much at the forefront of my mind when I made this illustration. It's just this cozy street view of a town. There's lots going on in the windows of the shops, and you have a cozy bookstore, a cafe with sweet treats, and I've hidden a mouse in this illustration. So if you'd like to receive this postcard or sticker from me, be sure to sign up to my Cinnamon and Clove tier on Patreon by June 1st. Also, would you be at all interested in receiving this in puzzle form or purchasing it in puzzle form? Because the entire time I was making this illustration, I kept thinking, this would make such a good puzzle, and I really would love to turn it into a puzzle. I just need to figure out how and if people are interested in it, because I love doing puzzles. And that's all I have for you guys. And I just really want to cozy up with a book. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna start with. Okay, I mean, honestly, it's probably gonna be Love at First Book, because I'll probably just devour this in one night or a day, and I think I feel the most excited about it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start this book. I wish you a very happy summer reading. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Your presence here is a gift, and I will never stop saying thank you. So I appreciate you, and I love you, and I will see you again very soon. Cheers!